Hello, everybody. It is me, your friendly neighborhood trailer breaker downer, Alex O'Neill, and I'm joined by my good buddy, my good pally, Mr. Quin Hoffman.
Howdy, sir. How you doing?
I am great. You and me, I would pigeonhole us as the immersive sim boys,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not unfair.
No.
We love Dishonored a lot, and
Yes.
people are sick of hearing it, at least from you.
For sure for me.
I'm hoping to get there someday, but we'll see.
Hey, man, Breath of the Wild is an immersive sim.
Here we go. Let me start this Cyberpunk breakdown with my thesis. In this essay, I will. Scott White, also an immersive sim fan, but he is media blackout on Cyberpunk. We got to respect that. But he deserves his shout out. He also likes Dishonored. And I also like Scott White. But we're here to talk about this deep dive for Cyberpunk 2077, which both of us just watched for the first time. And now we're going to talk about it. Are you excited? You said you have notes.
I do. I'm someone who I take meticulous notes. Like if I'm playing, a game for video game book club, plug, subscribe to that. I will take notes.
Yeah, I like to take notes for stuff like that. I typically just forget, or it's too distracting in the moment. Or if
you know what I do, Alex? I just pause the fucking game.
Yeah, but like my thing is if I pause the game and grab my phone to write up notes. Anyway, I'm on my phone for 45 minutes.
I handwrite.
Yeah, well, you're insane as well. So
no, I'm not.
No, it's fine. No, yeah, you have like a clipboard. You have like a clipboard that you take with you to PAX. So you are a note taker.
I have a journal. I have legal. Alex, I got the whole shebang, right? I don't want to get into this.
We're just learning a lot about each other. a lot of people watching this like, I really expected like some Cyberpunk discussion, but the first 14 minutes were just them talking about clipboards.
Yep.
So we're gonna talk about this deep dive. This is this thing in of itself is like a breakdown video. So I think there's a lot of stuff that we can skip over and not worry about. But there is also a lot of really, really juicy stuff, and this is a great complement to the long form gameplay video that they put out last year. That was also last year's E3 demo. This is clearly a truncated, cut down version of this year, 2019's E3 demo, which we've heard a lot about. It was cool to see a lot of the things that we heard about, like the whip wire to hack and whatnot and stuff like that. But
the nanowire is what it's called.
Yes, the nanowire, which is just a great name for anything.
Yes,
that you can use as a whip to cut people up as well, which we'll see a little bit later. But there's a lot of fast cuts, and there's a lot of just... I love user interfaces, and I love getting into menus before games are out, because like those are the things we're obviously going to spend a lot of time there. So like we get a lot of that in this trailer, in this deep dive, as they call it. And that's awesome. So I'll let it play through the intro a little bit here. Quin, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Cyberpunk after seeing this?
Honestly, after that demo from last year, like I think we talked about it on our Slack, but like I literally just fucking blew my load.
Yeah,
like I lost my mind.
Right there in his goddamn pants. He was out of control.
Yeah. But no, after watching this, I appreciate that video more. I appreciate the design more. Like they say in the beginning, this that was kind of just showing off the visual style, and this is kind of just showing us core gameplay. Even though the other one kind of did as well, this shows us branching paths and different options, which I think is more complementary.
Look at that nanowire, dude. Just look at it.
It's pretty cool.
It's so cool. Yeah, and what was big about the demo that we heard about from E3, having not been there, but hearing a lot about it, a lot of folks kind of giving their breakdown of it, was the focus of the demo. And the original version of this demo was about 50 minutes or a little bit longer maybe, was really showing playing through this scenario as two totally different builds of a character. And I feel like we don't get that as much here, which is a little bit of a bummer because things do move a lot faster. But there's stuff for us to sit and pick apart and break down. And that's why we're here. Which is good because we talked about doing this, and I had not watched this demo yet, and I wasn't sure how much of it like would be good material for this. But there's quite a bit. Do you have a kind of favorite thing that you want to start off at? So you got timestamps.
Yeah, I do have timestamps. I think something that like stood out to me initially was at 59 seconds, like that first visualization of that virtual space, like that uplink.
Yeah.
Was something very interesting to me because I never expected this game to kind of do this.
Yeah.
I never thought it'd be like this matrixy kind of thing of like everything's connected. I kind of like figured systems wise things would be connected, but not in a like story perspective as well.
Yeah, and a thing that again they haven't really talked about, and I'm assuming is going to be at least some part of the story with Johnny Silverhand being a character, is like the wall. What do they call it? The black wall or whatever, which is
black wall. I think
is a digital firewall inside the net, which is what we're in right now. We're the Matrix. It is a digital firewall past which free AI lives. and we
which
can't
is crazy.
We can't let that shit in here. But it also seems like I don't know what the net is and how like ubiquitous it is in this world. If you catch my drift of like, I don't know how many people are regularly interfacing in the net, right? The Voodoo Boys, this gang that we're introduced to, certainly have a deep attachment to it, but it doesn't seem like everybody does. If folks like this are running the net, you get an understanding for why people would be apprehensive as to go into there. And also, there's a digital firewall, a real digital firewall, past which human killing AI lives, I guess. So, and they talk about the Voodoo Boys want to go past the wall because they think the AI will help them more assimilate completely into the net, which is exactly the kind of shit I'm all about. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to hear. And obviously Johnny Silverhand seems to be some kind of AI, is my best guess. So I imagine this is a big part of the story, and that's why they're not talking about it a lot. It's cool to see.
I think the next frame I think we should jump to is 139.
It's not too far ahead. I love these shots of the city, though. Also, look at this dude. Get the fuck out, snakes. Back to the city. This is Pacifica. I love that. Is this? This is 138. Oh, when he's like going on the bike?
When the guy's shooting up in the air. Small design thing I'm gonna point out.
Oh, that's what I just pointed out.
Yeah, no.
Oh, past this?
Keep going back.
Oh, back.
Back, yeah. I just noticed something that I wanted to talk about.
Oh, this, okay.
Yeah, so go like a few frames back.
When are you talking?
Right here, pause. So you notice how there's subtitles above the NPC's heads? That's not something we have traditionally seen in games. And I think that is such a smart design choice, because I don't know about you, Alex, but I always have subtitles on in my games, and same with my movies and all that. I'm an old man, whatever.
Games, I turn it on a lot, but I don't like it on for movies, I'll say.
Yeah, which is fine. It's a choice. But if you go through those menus, you can see things called like general subtitles and like story subtitles, whatever. Having that basically cuts through all of those menus and just has it implemented already. And it's just a smart design choice, because it allows you to see who's saying what besides saying like angry guy. You know what I mean? It's you see that person, he's acting, and the subtitles are above his head.
Yeah. But also, I'm curious to see if this ties into the actual UI and mechanics of the game, because like maybe characters will speak in other languages, and you won't be able to understand that until you buy a translator kit or something like that, like some kind of actual physical thing that you have to put in yourself to understand them. And for those subtitles to be in English or in whatever your chosen language is. I think that would be cool. And I wonder if these subtitles might be a thing actually like justified by your cybernetics. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. And that's just a great choice. But that bike,
yeah, dude,
cool as fuck.
Super cool. Look at this.
Put it up there.
Look at this, dude. It's so cool.
Yeah.
I don't even like nothing's happening here. I'm into it.
And it's got like the waypoint on the side.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the sleek UI. You know, like when a mini map moves in a video game as you move.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just my fucking shit.
Yeah, I was gonna point out this is the first time we're seeing the UI because the last demo did not have it or had it turned off. And it's a lot more minimal than I expected. Certainly, there's gonna be a lot more going on in some of the later scenes we're gonna see, but I appreciate how few things are on the screen at a given time. I also want to point out here in the lower left, we can see that this road is red, and I don't know if that signifies that it's red or that it's dangerous because they talk about this kind of section later on as you don't want to walk around this part of the town. You want to be in a car or in a fast-moving vehicle, you know. An armored car or a fast-moving vehicle.
But to that point, Alex, you see how when you're on the bike, how both in the top right and in the top left, both those blots of text are red.
Yeah.
So it might just be a design thing instead of the dangerous.
Yeah.
But if you also notice on the mini map in the bottom right of it is kind of like an exclamation mark.
Yeah.
That might indicate like that sense of danger.
Or it could just be the quest giver is in that direction.
Yeah. True.
Either way, not sure yet. Maybe because you see in this, you see the exclamation mark seems to be maybe the target.
Yeah, it's the prompt. Yeah.
So we'll come back to some of this stuff later. So let's jump ahead. I did we get some time to look at some stat screens, which I love. I appreciate that when we actually see the stats, it's just 5 stats. Obviously, I think there's probably more, or at least there are other things that are going to affect your player. But I appreciate the simplicity of just 5 stats, and that one of them's cool.
Yeah, and that's kind of like a luck thing, I think. Like in Fallout.
It certainly seems like it, but it also like affects rep. You know, like people, if you're cool, people will treat you like you're cool. But this gives us an idea of like the stats that you'll likely focus on for each build, right? So like body is 9 for the strength build here, and technical is 9. And it's like, I don't know what technical means because technical is 7 for the other one. And that maybe that's like
combat.
Maybe it's combat, prowess, or maybe it's familiarity with certain systems, you know? I'm not sure yet. Because intelligence obviously is probably related to hacking skills.
Yep.
And reflexes is probably related to like movement and dodging. But technical is a little bit more ambiguous.
Yeah.
I like that the body stat is very low for the Netrunner as well. Because they don't need it.
Yeah.
We jump. Yeah, I appreciate them giving that warning of like, hey, this is from the main campaign. Let's see. Let's scrub through here. Do you have another timestamp that you know?
I just want to talk about like the Pacifica District.
Yeah, cool story that they set up for this place.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and I like how it's very much like a South American vibe, like a Miami kind of vibe. I like wrote down like a Brazilian kind of vibe, like the slums, or like the favelas. And I think it's interesting that they chose a Haitian gang.
Yeah.
And we'll like that's a whole conversation that we can get into, but I'm not really wanting to have on this.
But again, they justify it in their lore of like, hey, like Haiti was destroyed in the 2060s, right, by storms, which is obviously a real thing that we've dealt with in the past as well, and earthquakes. And most of pretty much everyone had to leave Haiti, so they dispersed, and a great amount of them came here and claimed Pacifica. And I like that this is 2077, so we're not too far removed from that. And they do address like when the Voodoo Boys started, it was a different thing, and now it's become this other thing. It's cool. That's the kind of richness to the world that I appreciate. And we haven't really gotten a lot of that. At least not a lot of specifics. So it was good to have like a good example to pull from.
Yeah. I think the next timestamp we should jump to is 4:32.
All right. A little bit ahead.
And my note is look at inventory and rarity scale.
Yes.
So, okay, we have a lot going on here.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
Top left, it's level and street cred, which I think works into that cool stat you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And it's also like your interactions, and we can talk about the backgrounds as well later on. How there's 3. And I think the combination of your actions, your cool, and like whatever background you choose, all filter towards your street cred.
I appreciate here too. Like he's adding items to a shopping cart as opposed to buying them one by one.
Oh my god, it's like that's the Fallout thing that I just like. Why can't games have more of this?
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, just like getting a feel for it. Like 1,962 credits is the amount in the upper end, which is like, okay, if we're like level 20, probably mid game, it's good to know like the kind of scale of currency, like what's a lot, what's a little, is this an average amount? And just seeing how expensive things are, like this mod or this hoodie that he's looking at, the samurai jacket, is 237. It's not unreasonable. And then we get to see the actual inventory here, and we see the kind of 4 tabs at the top. It's simple, right? There's not a lot to it.
Yeah.
You got 6 articles of clothing or armor, and 3 weapons. That's it. And I appreciate.
And in
that.
the bottom left, there's a thing called pockets, which I assume is like going to be your medicine and other
your quick select
like,
items probably.
Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't notice that.
I do love the stats in the bottom.
Yeah,
right
the resistances as well. It's cool.
Just makes it real easy to understand. Like, hey, I have 10 of this, 6 of this.
And I didn't notice this earlier. Again, just this is my first time going through frame by frame. Under the first tab heading is like equipment, cyberware, and crafting. I didn't even know there was crafting in this game, but of course there is. It's crafting in all video games. It's gonna be 2020 when this comes out.
Yeah, and I know that's gonna be fucking bananas to think about. And I like how there's a quick equip as well.
Yeah, it seems very snappy.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think we're not far from when we see the backstories. I'll just let it play. And I have the audio turned down for the listeners or viewers' reference, just because it was very loud.
Yeah,
it was a lot for me. We also hear a little bit about the animal gang, which is cool. I love it how they look, because they just look awful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they do.
And you see like the cybernetics like exploding out of them.
Yeah.
It is like, what if we could go past bodybuilder with cybernetics and augmentations?
Yeah.
It's intense.
It reminds me of Venice Beach.
There's your San Diego pull. You got there.
I mean, it's like 2 hours north of me, but whatever.
It's a local. It's California. I'll give it to you. This is California.
That's true.
So maybe Pacifica is future Venice Beach.
That's true.
It all makes sense.
No, I like I wrote down the note when they talk about their leadership. For the animals, the one thing I noted was it's gonna be funny, Klingon. And like, whatever, I'm the Star Trek guy at Irrational Passions, but
hey, I also like Star Trek.
Yeah, I know, but I'm like in the thick of it right now.
Yeah, you're in it right now.
And it's like whoever is strongest is chosen as leader. And I was like, that's some Klingon shit if I've ever heard it.
Also, like tribes and caveman and other things outside of Star Trek.
It's very like, it's just a very tribal, and it's like, because I'm me, it's like, oh, future and this ideology, Klingon.
But again,
no, I think it's very interesting. It's very interesting.
Sasquatch, the kind of leader they pick for this specific problem, is also very versatile. Like, she tries to hack into you at some point, and so on and so forth. So there is a versatility to that strength that I appreciate, because I think there's always more nuance to farm there. If it's just the person with the biggest arms wins and is the leader, I just don't think that's as interesting. And they're trying to go for more here, and that I appreciate.
Yeah, and it tells you that people need to be balanced, and that's the big thing.
Mhm.
Also, I didn't notice until right now, until you pause the frame,
Mhm.
is that if you look after you analyze a character, it shows their like resistances and their
Yes.
weak spots.
Yes.
I just noticed that. That's pretty fucking
That's
bad.
super cool. And we noticed that they use this information later when they're fighting.
Yeah.
And it at first seems like it's not going to go well for them. Yeah, this is when they're explaining the animals. Let's see. Jump ahead a little bit. Here we go. This is what we came here for.
Holy shit, Alex.
So, of these, do you have something that you're feeling the most, personally?
I'm probably gonna be a street kid.
Say if you want to understand the streets, you got to live them. Gangs, fight fixers, dolls, small-time pushers. You were raised by them all. Down here in the low, the jungle dictates the weak serve the strong. The only low in Night City you have yet to break. Roaming the Badlands. Ooh, I like roaming the Badlands. That's cool.
Yeah.
Very Mad Max. Honesty, integrity, and a love of freedom qualities that few in Night City possess, and no amount of something.
Let's be honest, Alex. You're gonna be a fucking corporate.
I know. Here's the thing. I was totally feeling corporate. If you leave the corporate world with their lives, fewer still with their souls intact. I love it. You've been there. You've bent the rules, exploited secrets, and weaponized information. How does that not sound fucking radical, though? There's no such thing as fair game. Only winners and losers.
See, Alex, I don't like that.
that is very intense. You're not wrong. But I love these origins. It reminds me a little bit of like the Mass Effect 1 origins.
I was just about to say that.
Like, what was it? Like the war hero, the sole survivor, and like the military kid that traveled all the time with his parents.
And I think it's like there's one on like I love that like here are the three things and these will be brought up all the time. It's just so fascinating.
Yeah, it seems like everything we've heard is that these are going to influence Cyberpunk front to back way more than things like that in Mass Effect did, or even like I would say most character classes would narratively in a game like this. So that's really cool. And I like that. Much like Mass Effect, I would bet that you will see and meet characters in each individual campaign that you just aren't going to be as close with in the others. And I think that's cool. Because some of those like one-off side quests with like the people from your past in Mass Effect 1 was actually really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is great. I'm definitely leaning toward corporate, but it's one of those things where I want to try out multiple of those. I want to try out Street Kid, and they show you here like here's a Street Kid dialogue
an
option.
instance,
yeah, which is cool. And then we get the character customization, which is it's cool to finally kind of get a. I didn't know what they were gonna go with, but it seems like it's actually pretty deep.
Yeah, I was talking to my brother about this too because we kind of mentioned because I just came back from Disneyland. I spent 90 minutes in the car with my brother. You're talking about like character customization in Cyberpunk. And I was like, if I buy this game, I'm going to spend like 3 hours making my person. I'm like, yeah, man, like it's going to be so dense. And from the look of this, it's going to be so intricate that it's just going to be absolutely bananas.
Yeah, I like it. And I the thing is, I want to invest that amount of time because like, this seems like it's gonna be a long ride. Yeah, which makes it worth it, But yeah, this is like where they get way into the weeds with that. But so this is what we came here for.
Man.
This is what Daddy like.
This is something,
and it's cool. It's hard. We're just not gonna understand this fully.
No,
at least not yet. And we can see also like. Let's just say big monitor and stats are 2 pages of this we just don't see. This is just the general perk tree or skill tree. So it seems like having those stats like reflexes, cool, intelligence, body, and technical will open up new pathways in each of these kind of perk trees. And it's good to now. I'm actually looking at this. It's good to see what stats are associated with what.
Yeah.
Because now it makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
So technical is like, it says engineering next to that, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
And we see like 5 of 7 there, but there's 2 things there. Like, you know, so clearly we're not seeing everything right now.
Well, if you notice, like, if you go down to body in the bottom left, it says shotguns 1 of 4. I think you have to get to a certain point with that for a thing to unlock.
Yeah, maybe that's through usage as well. That maybe that's not even through dropping points or levels into it.
But I will say, I did notice later in the videos, like when the character is using the handgun, it says handgun XP.
Ooh.
And if you notice in like reflexes, I think it's level based.
Yeah, that would make sense.
You level these up as you use them, a la Borderlands 1. And it's like you can get more whatever. Yeah.
I think
that's a very versatile system.
That's cool. Yeah, the thing I've always loved about Skyrim the most is like just use what you want to use and you'll get better at it. Is like more video games just need to do that. Yeah, video game that did that pretty well was the zombie game on Xbox that I can never State of Decay. Always terrible with that game. It was like, you know, you played different characters, and they would just get better at the stats that you would do, like things that you would do with them. Like if you shot the gun more, you would get better at aiming, or if you scouted from watchtowers, you would be able to see further and highlight more items. So yeah, that's cool. And you know, obviously it seems like the stats will maybe help you scale with those things. So like putting stats into reflexes will help you do more damage with blades, rifles, and handguns. And it's cool. Maybe these are also like unlocking different kinds of these weapons, because we can see what looks like the wire under blades, right? And that seems to be maybe the first perk. So I don't know. I don't know if that would be tied to perks or not. Yeah.
It's going to be very interesting to see how this system plays out. Because even if you, like, I know technical only has engineering attached to it, but if you go over to intelligence, that only has hacking attached to it.
Yeah. So there's got to be more to it. And we see this first perk. Hacking 1, current level, unlocks additional advanced malware demons. What does that even mean? I mean, we know what it means, but it's just like, that's very ambiguous for the perk tree. So like clearly there might be a sub menu to that explains more.
Yeah, I think that's what Big Monitor might do.
Yes, that's true. And they show
also, that's just a great page name, Big Monitor.
Big Monitor. They show like a lot of like quick dodges and jabs and punches in this that I'm like, how are you going to execute on this? Like, how do you do this?
Yeah.
When playing, God, the wire is just so great.
Yeah. I love that visual design of like pulling out the wire and plugging it into the thing and how it's all those things are running.
Yeah. I also love the upload lead jammer. And he says it looks like you've got 2 of that. It jams his weapon and it just explodes.
Yeah.
This is like, you see floating leg giblets is always a good shot in a trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just great. I hope the slow-mo is also just in the game for me. Let's see. I think this is when they switch to Netrunner, or they show the 2 paths. Netrunner is just a great name for a custom class. Yeah. I like how they're doing like it's solo and Netrunner, and you can kind of do hybrids. I like that's the distinction. Yeah, and they both are hybrids, right? Like I feel like they make it pretty clear that you should spec in at least 2 directions versus just one. Just strength or just technical or whatever. They show off like the perks.
Also, this here.
They show off the perks of the 2 different choices, and like I love it's like you are strong enough to rip the gun out of this turret. Like that is what speed solo means. Ooh, look at this. Because here we see the subtitles come up and then translate into actual words. See, like
that's Fucking fascinating.
If my theory was right, dude, I'm giving myself cookie points. Because maybe they're speaking in French or Haitian. I don't know. I believe Haitians speak French. I could be wrong. And it's
kind of, sort of.
translating that into English. Maybe. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But
the other thing is, there was no specific nationality attached to the animal, so I'm going to naturally assume they speak English.
Yeah.
Because that's what they were all speaking, more or less.
Or maybe they're talking to each other and it's like decoding those messages.
Yeah, exactly.
Very fucking cool. This is
also this is very cool too. This whole human shield.
Yeah,
aspect.
very intense. I like. Also, they make playing the strong guy look fun, and that's cool.
Yeah, they do.
And maybe we'll actually get an immersive sim with good gunplay, Quinn.
Yeah.
God willing.
Oh man, hey man. Also, pause it right here. I want to highlight. Sasquatch threw a fucking sledgehammer.
Yeah, she did. Sasquatch does not mess around.
Yeah. Hey, listener. Sledgehammers are heavy as hell.
They are very heavy.
As someone who uses and also I love how it hits you and there's a prompt for you to pick it up.
Yeah, you could grab it. Also, look at this flash wave that light trail she leaves behind. That's the kind of cyberpunk shit I'm into.
Mm-hmm.
And then she hacks into you because, why not?
Yeah.
That's again a cool layer to a boss fight of that is just a reality of probably everyone in this world is they know how to hack to some extent. And we see their progress bar at the top. Super cool.
Yeah, I just noticed that. I think that's the Voodoo Boys versus their progress and their strength.
Yeah, I think it's very much if that fills up, you've been hacked and you're probably dead.
Mm-hmm. But if you want to play this a little slower right here, Alex, there's kind of a dash ability shown.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you caught that. 935 is what I wrote down.
Let me see.
And it's kind of she'll steam, she'll charge you, and you just kind of dash out of the way. And it's not something I was expecting to see.
They showed this in the last demo when they briefly showed max level version of you.
Yeah.
Here we go. Boom, 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 and then you see knees duck and then slide out of the way.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's clutch. The dash is clutch.
Yeah, and I think that's going to add a whole new other level to the combat, which I think is already going to be good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And again, we in the last demo at the very end, we saw the blades come out and clawing across the wall with the blades.
Yeah.
So there, hopefully traversal is a dynamic shifting thing. I do like this too of not the boss not dying when their health bar closes, right? Sometimes Metal Gear Solid 4 did that. But that doesn't usually happen. And I appreciate them stopping the fight. You can still experience the fight and win and have the choice to not kill the person. Definitely gonna play Netrunner though. Let's be real, Quinn.
Same.
Yeah. Whatever origin I am, Netrunner is where it's at because all this hacking is awesome.
Well, it's
this is a nightmare though, actually.
Yes, that's actually genuinely scary.
I knew this would fuck you up.
Because I've had that happen to me before, and it's actually fucked up my shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I think Netrunner for me as well is going to be the way to go because stealth, duh.
Yes, for sure.
That's my jam.
Yes, absolutely.
Because that's immersive sims and stealth are just one and the same, basically.
Yeah, for me at least, and I know for you as well. But also hacking, and they actually just show us what the hacking looks like in this game, or at least one instance of it. And I watched this once. But this was hard for me to wrap my head around.
Yeah, I kind of don't understand it.
So I know we see up here, I'm moving my cursor around, but I think only Quinn can see that. Maybe even not. You see the main objective, basic access, right? And they talk over it. The VO is talking about if you do more or if you hack deeper into it, you will get more access to more systems. Which is really cool. So if you're just surface level hacking, trying to get basic access to some of the systems, that's easier and you don't need to probably have as high a hacking skill. And then on the right, we see side objective additional hacks. So we see 4 programs here. Two are programs, 2 are networks, and basically they have to line up those codes in a way that they can connect to one another by like either row or column. And we'll see them do that. This is my guess. Again, this is just my theory, but I think this adds up to essentially hack that thing. And so the general hack is the combination at the top, and they do that first. But they did the camera log first, actually.
Yeah. So I think it's just...
Yeah, so then you see them do officer training. And then from officer training, go right into the main objective. That's cool.
I'm excited to see what the tutorialization of this looks like.
Yeah.
Because this is kind of a very, like, weird thing to showcase.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to show, and they did not show it well here.
Yes.
But I appreciate the boldness of putting it out there at all. But like I see the challenge here because it's about finding things that can link to one another in rows. Like again, no one can probably see this, but like the 1C on the left, the second on the left, to the 1C on the right, down to the 1C on the bottom, back to the 1C on the left. Like that could be a way to get the program prototype thing on the bottom right. And you know, it's like a Sudoku.
So actually, can you go back a little bit, Alex?
Sure.
So I just noticed the thing on the bottom.
Oh, here?
No, keep going back to the overall menu.
Oh, the little bar
so, like right here. So you see how it's 1C E9 BD 55 1C.
Oh yeah.
BD. That's basically, so he's going in, the person playing is going in order. So it's like 1EC 1C E9 accesses the camera log.
Oh, you can only do 5 or 6 here. I see. So that's why you have to choose what you want to hack in. That's cool. That adds a whole nother layer to it.
So you basically, the hacking is just going in order. And so you see he's going to get officer training by hitting 1C.
Yes.
Then he'll hit BD.
And
so that's how it works.
Yeah. So it's like it's essentially trying to get a combo with all of them.
Yeah.
That's fucking rad.
Yeah.
I'm on board, Quinn. We solved hacking.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things, like, I didn't see it until I saw that, and I was like, I was putting it all together.
Yeah, that's good.
Also, this menu right here, like, oh my god.
Yeah, I love it. I appreciate that, you know, you in the user interface, you can see how many of those things you have left, because it's like, why not just tell that to the player, right? It's one of those things that people have still been trying to figure out, and this is like a great execution on it. Progress bar, like it has kind of a, like even almost a Metroid Prime vibe too, like the different visor and the scanning. I love just how things are integrated into the UI here. Yeah, and this is rad.
It makes it all feel so natural,
and it makes like the things that you're seeing feel like organic parts of the world as well. Okay,
I love this, by the way.
Yes, hacking a person.
It's not something I would think would be possible. Like the fact that you can just sling it and it'll just connect.
Yeah, I think clearly you have to be stealthed to do this, but even still, that's
got a long reach.
That's very good. I mean, that's like level 4. That's I'm calling that's like level 4 or 5 ripwire or whatever it's called. I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
But
that's like a 15-foot distance.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Like that's really
you get into some shenanigans with that long a hack wire. I also like this, just like again that kind of smoothness of like walking up, hacking, and the doors open as you walk up to them, and showing that you can. They say the VO here talks about how like just about everything is on some kind of local network, and finding that access point and kind of going from there is awesome. Like I love that that is a part of it. So here we just to jump ahead a little bit because I just realized we're at 41 minutes of recording it at the very least. We hear about Netwatch here, the net cops.
So this is George, right?
This
He's
George
the
Cruz
internet cop?
Alvarez, the internet police are here.
Yeah.
And so this, hearing this, right, obviously changes what I was saying earlier about like who uses the net. I guess there are just digital cops now. That's the world we live in 2077.
Yeah.
I don't
But no, this is a fascinating detail.
I don't quite understand what happens here.
So I kind of think
I have a
see what's going on.
theory.
So those are all the access points that they're trying to get access at once. But you see how the icons turn to skulls? I think that's kind of some indication of the lockout,
Yeah.
because like the down arrow, the slightly,
I think that's V.
yeah, I think that's you, and it's you're trying to access all these different ports rather, and you get denied.
Yeah, or there's like maybe some kind of antivirus. If you were trying to inject some kind of malicious program, maybe there's a counter program to deal with that. And obviously, like, you get all fucked up. And that's cool. You can't hack police. Apparently, that's what we've learned.
Cops are pretty tough, man. Yeah.
Cops are pretty tough. And then they give us this little tease of Johnny Silverhand. I love that Keanu Reeves is essentially the Na'vi of this game.
Yeah,
Which is ridiculous. It's great, but it is weird. Yeah, I don't know.
And I think this is going to be something that's totally crazy too. This whole idea of branching story paths. Like, oh my god, Alex, if this game is what I think it's going to be,
yeah.
God,
if this game is good at all, I'm just gonna be pretty stoked about it, honestly.
Yeah.
Obviously, we are pretty excited. We will be talking about it in the future on irrationalpassions.com, where you can hear from both of us. You should follow Quin, Quantum_Arbiter, on the Twitters, and you should follow me at Alfighter27 and subscribe and see all the other cool video game stuff that we do. Any final words for the fine people out there?
Systems on systems on systems, baby. I'm here.
I'm here for the Netrunner. Have a good day, everybody. All right, you ready, bud?
Yeah.
Ugh. Now, here, I'm going to ask you a question, Quinn, and this can be our bonus content.
Yes, sir.
I call people bud all the time because it's just like a thing that I do. But then, Van Aken and Andrew Taylor out there on the street saying, I hate it when people call me bud. Fucking stop it.
I say pal, pally, and buddy.
Yeah, you do say pal, so you're clearly the wrong person to ask, but...
Yeah.
It's not offensive,
I was talking to
right?
my dad the other day, and he was like, "You really got to stop saying pal because it's mad disrespectful." I'm like, "It's part of my lingo. I don't know."
I guess bud is the East Coast version of pal.
Yeah,
Just peas in a pod, Quinn. You and me.
I know.
All right, let's.
I say pally.
All right, pally's. You got to stop with that. You just got to shut that down.
Why? Because I'm a fucking 1920s lounge singer?
Apparently. A real Richard Cheese over here.
Fuck, man.
Are you ready?
Yeah. You recorded that, right?
Oh, yeah, this is all recorded.
Okay.
Good.
Can you put that at the end of this video?
Yeah, we should. All right.